Hey my creative crafty fans, this is Gloria Plunkett with designsbygloria.com. I'm here to share with you how to create these cute little Shadowbox tunnel, they're called a bunch of different things, card, which has 3 layers in there when you create this card, and it folds flat and fits in an A2 envelope. This kind of coordinates with the ornament that I had previously showed you how to create. So now let's make the coordinating Christmas card. Now, I have already pre-cut all my pieces, but I am going to show you how to do something real quick. I've pre-cut all my pieces so that we can save a little time on the video. I will, however, have a free downloadable PDF tutorial that you can download directly from my blog, free, no charge, to show you how to create this project step by step with all the measurements and everything that you need. So let's just get started here. Let me just separate some of these pieces. Like I said, I've pre-cut and measured these, but I am going to show you how to cut these yourself and how to create them yourself. So what you're going to need is 2 pieces of cardstock, or whatever color you would like, and the 2 front panels measure 6.5 by 4 1/4. I scored them at 1 inch, and then I scored it again at 5.5 inch on both pieces. Okay, so the next thing I did was I took my layering square dies, which I'm here to tell you we're getting finally the rectangle dies. I'm so excited. They're in the occasions catalog. Can't wait for those because this is going to help a lot creating the window here. But anyway, in the meantime, let's use what we got. And you also, if you don't have these, just use what you have in your stash. Don't worry about going off and buying anything new. Just use what you got. And even, you know, what it would even work would be one of these utility knives and a piece of self-healing mat where you could go in there and place your cardstock and then just kind of pencil in where you want your window to be, and then just cut those out. It works just fine. You don't have to have all these fancy tools. I have them, so I'm going to use them because I love it. Okay, so let me get this out of the way. So I took the largest of our layer squares die, and I placed it on my cardstock. I ran it through the Big Shot, ran it back, moved it down. And what I did was, I don't know if you can see here, there's a little lip on the die. See if I can get close enough. It's not catching it. Anyway, there's a little lip on the die here. If you put your cardstock against that little lip, it'll catch right there, so it'll line it up perfectly. At least on these Stampin' Up! Dies. It'll line it up perfectly, and you just keep cutting around, running your Big Shot all around till you get the desired width of your window that you're looking for. All right, so once you have these cut, then we're going to cut our panels. And these panels were cut at 5 1/4 by 4 inches tall, 5 1/4 wide. And then I scored a 3/8 inch and 4 7/8 inch to give us this little lip right here. And I started off with, you probably can do this a little easier, but I started off with the 4 inch wide piece of cardstock. Then I ran my dies, which I used again are the Bethlehem edgelets, and I ran those through my Big Shot. Oh, that's not it. Use the right one, Gloria. Okay, so I ran it through my Big Shot and then just kind of brought it down right at the edge of the cardstock. In fact, let me show you how to do it, because I did cut out a sample here. See, here's just the cardstock cut at 4 inches by 5 1/4, scored at 3/8 and 4 7/8. And let me bring in my Big Shot to show you how I did this. So I placed my piece of cardstock here. Can you see that? I'm trying to get in frame here. Then I brought my die and I placed it so that it hit, just leaving that much of a little space on there. Then I brought my top plate and I placed it to where I wanted it to end. So if you see, I'm not cutting all the way to the end. Actually, this is where it actually cuts if you run it all the way through the Big Shot. I'm putting the top plate on top to stop just before that edge right there. Okay, so I'm going to take this, hold it down, and then run it through. Run it through again. Run it through one more just for good measure. I'm going to take this off. And when you pull it off your platform, you end up with this. Then I took my paper snips and came here, you can see here, and I just snipped it at that end. I snipped it at this end. I didn't get that right. And then just gently pull these off. And then these easily pop right off. Anyway, I did all that. And I ended up with this. Okay? So, I did that for all three pieces. So I did this piece, then I did this piece. Then I didn't cut them down, I just did it with the 4-inch. Then what I did was when my piece came through, for example this one, I put all three pieces together, like so. Obviously they were all the same height. What I did was remove this one, then brought this one down and figured out how much lower I wanted it to be. Flipped this over and marked this piece and then just cut off the excess blue. Then I brought this in, which was obviously this height, and I pulled it down to about where I felt it would look good on the cardstock. Flipped it over, made a little mark, took my trimmer and trimmed off the bottom. And that's how I came up with these three pieces. So let's move on. Once you get this done, on this example here, I just added some blue in the background, just some blue cardstock. For this one, I changed it up a little bit. Obviously, I made the frame in Night of Navy. I pulled out some designer series paper from the Stampin' Up! Catalog, the regular catalog. And this is from the designer series paper from the Twinkle Twinkle, the little baby paper. And look at that, it's got the little stars and everything. And I thought that's going to look really great on my background here. And I don't have to sponge, I don't have to put little stars in. It's already ready for me to go. So I went ahead and cut this, and this one is cut at, let me see, 4 inches by 4.5 inches, which is the side, the width and depth of my panel here. All right. So I took my Tombow glue, and I'll just put some Tombow on here. I like using Tombow because it gives me a little bit of time to maneuver my cardstock if I don't get it just right. And you'll see that I did not cut it all the way to hit the bottom because it's going to be covered up anyway, and I like to save cardstock as best I can. Okay, so now we're going to take our three pieces, and this is the tallest one of the three. So I'm going to take a little bit of Tombow. You can use tear and tape, whatever works best for you. And remember, Tombow, a little bit goes a long way. So what I did was took this piece, and I'll show you here in a second what I'm doing. Just want to get it on there straight. So I took this piece and I glued it on to the side panel here. See that? And that creates that layer. Then I took the second piece of cardstock, added a little tombow. And now I'll just put it right at the edge of the previous panel I put on there. Sorry, got out of frame a little bit. And glue that down. Give it a little love, rub it a little bit. It'll help it stick well. Then the last one, same thing. Right up to the edge there. Make sure it comes all the way down. That's why I like Tombow, because it gives me that playtime. Okay? So there, you have the one pop-up side ready to go. See that? 1, 2, 3 layers. Now to get it to pop up, we need to glue the other side, which is really easy. You just line these up so they're nice and even. And you put a little Tombow on each panel, or you can use, like I said, your tear and tape. I like to use Tombow or tear and tape because these are probably going to get opened and closed a lot, since I think it's creates a little wow factor. And I'm going to tuck that in there. Grab my bone folder, sorry, and give that a good crease. Okay. All right. We pop it up, and there we have the 3D tunnel, shadow box, whatever you want to call it, card. Now all we need to do is glue our top panel. I think I want this stuff down here on top, and you just fold it to mail it. I'm telling you, this is so easy, but it creates such a nice wow factor. When your family or friends receive your card, they're going to absolutely love it. So all we do, I just put that on top and then just kind of line it up, fold it down, and give it a good crease with my bone folder. That's it. How easy is that? And look at that beautiful starry background that you get. So, in addition to the Night in Bethlehem, I usually use a Starlight Thinlits, and I use this medium-sized star here. That's the smallest, and that's the next to the smallest. And I cut out my little star with glimmer paper, which I can't find, of course. It's here somewhere. Been moving stuff around all morning. All right. I cut it out with glimmer paper, and I'll stick it right here, somewhere here, to give me a bit more of a 3D effect. Then I stamped the Rejoicing in Christ from the Night in Bethlehem stamp set, this greeting right here. And I stamped that in real red just to kind of give it a little bit different color. And then I'll pop this up with dimensionals. And I got to remember that this whole panel is not going to sit on top. So I want to make sure my dimensionals are on the bottom here of my greeting. Pop that there. Pop that there. I don't know if you've seen this trick where you take your nail and just kind of make a little dent and makes these dimensional or whatever you call the cover form pop up. What I'm going to do is take this, center it right there, and I can feel it. It's right at the edge there with my fingers. And then I have that. And then I can either create a bow that looks like this and add it on there, or something like this with our white and silver baker's twine. If I wanted to add a little bow there, I could add some rhinestones, or anything that you would like. I kind of wanted to keep mine simple, so that's probably how I'll send mine. Now for the greeting, I cut out a square with the largest squares from the layer and square circles, and what I'll do is I'll place this on the back, write my greeting on there, glue it on there, and then I'll just stick it in an envelope and mail it. I hope you've enjoyed this. If you have any questions about this project, please feel free to drop me a message on my blog and I'll get back with you, or you can email me directly at designsbygloria@gmail.com. Here's another one I created, and this one is using the new Thinlit dies that's in the well, it's not really even in the catalog, it just came out as a 1 month only special, called the Snowfall Thinlit dies. Oh my gosh, you guys, these are amazing. I love them, love them, love them. Look at the detail on those. I haven't even had a chance to put these on my magnetic sheets here. And then these are the 2 stamp sets that go along with this. I've got a couple more projects that I'm going to share with you using these great dies and stamp sets. I can't hardly wait. So, and then I use the little charms that come in the suite for this. Here I used Pool Party, and I sponged the back using the glycerin technique that I showed you guys. If you haven't seen my video on that, make sure you go over and check it out, because this is a great way to do sponging where you don't get any lines or any ugly, sometimes you mess up and you get that blotch. You don't ever have to worry about that again. This is great. So anyway, that's it. If you have any questions, like I said, make sure that you give me, drop me an email, or go on my blog and drop me a message, or leave a message here on YouTube, whatever works for you. I hope this helps you, and I hope you go off and create something beautiful and send it on its way. Thank you all. Have a blessed Thanksgiving if I don't come back before then. Bye.